Happy Valentine's Day, couples, and welcome to Hearts Wine from Hearts Distractions. I'm your host, Alicia Minor Gaines, and today we're celebrating love in all its messy, beautiful, and complex forms. This is your space for real talk, raw emotions, and relationship revelations. Whether you're navigating the thrilling start of a new relationship, working through the challenges of a long-term commitment, or reflecting on marriage, you've come to the right place. In today's episode, First Date to Forever, Signs You're With the One or Not, Valentine's Day special, we're diving deep into the beautiful chaos of relationships, especially around this Valentine's Day. Why? Because Valentine's Day is often seen through the lenses of the perfect, rosy image of love. Chocolates, roses, and heartfelt declarations. But we know love isn't always so simple. It's a journey filled with unexpected turns, bumps, and emotional roller coasters. And today, we're going to peel back those layers and explore the unfiltered side of love. That's right. I said the unfiltered side of love. So y'all know some realness is coming with this show today. From the excitement of new beginnings to the challenges that arise when the honeymoon phase fades away, we'll examine how every stage of a relationship has its own unique beauty, even in the messiest moments. We'll also discuss how distractions can pull us away from each other, whether it's the pressures of daily life, emotional baggage from the past, or the generational patterns that shape how we love. Love isn't just about connecting with someone else. It's also about understanding yourself, your partner, and the emotional undercurrents that shape your behavior. In this episode, we'll explore how these challenges can serve as opportunities to grow stronger together, turning the tears we sometimes shed into the wine that deepens our bond. As we dive into this conversation, I want you to know that no relationship is perfect, and that's what makes it real. Whether you're dealing with miscommunications, unmet expectations, or those moments where you question if love can truly withstand everything life throws at it, this episode is for you. We're here to normalize those struggles and remind you that every moment, every emotional twist is part of the journey. So grab your wine or favorite drink, settle in, and let's get unfiltered about love together. But before we jump into today's discussion, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hearts Wine from Hearts Distractions for exclusive episodes and bonus content. You can also visit us at www.aliciasdistractions.com for more resources and updates. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook through Alicia's Distractions for daily relationship inspiration. I'm your relationship expert with over 20 years of professional and personal experience. But now I get to be your host in addition to being a wife, a mother, a marriage and family therapist who is licensed in the field. If you don't know or didn't know, I'm also someone who's passionate about helping people navigate the ups and downs of love and relationships. I understand relationships on all levels, while also recognizing and calling out the things that most don't acknowledge or won't say as it relates to the areas of family, friendships, and how mental health plays out in relationships. I'm also a relationship coach, which, yes, is different from a marriage and family therapist. I'm an entrepreneur who owns 2 businesses, coaching business as well as a private practice, and the author of Distractions of the Heart, a poetry book all about the messy, beautiful emotions and relationships we experience and carry in our hearts, which, by the way, is available on Amazon. And when I'm not having deep conversations or helping others, you might catch me mixing up a drink or two. Yes, I'm a bit of a mixologist at heart and enjoy coming up with new flavored cocktails. Yes, mixed drinks are my specialty. So grab your glass of wine, get comfortable, and let's talk all about the heart's distractions that cause your heart to whine in your new favorite relationship podcast. So let's get started. Love is many things, but let's be real. It's rarely perfect. Did you know that according to research from the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, 74% of couples report significant improvement in their relationship after seeking therapy? Y'all know I was going to hit you with those stats early, right? Why? Because this statistic is especially relevant on Valentine's Day, a time when many couples reflect on their relationships. It highlights how seeking professional guidance can turn challenges into opportunities for a deeper connection, making the holiday a meaningful moment for growth. This goes to show that facing challenges head on can lead to incredible growth within your relationship. Valentine's Day often brings unique pressures, such as deciding on the perfect gift, planning the ideal date, or managing unmet expectations. Some couples even find themselves grappling with deeper issues like infidelity or deception that come to light during this time. And let's not forget the breakups that occur either because of heightened emotions or mismatched expectations. These challenges, though difficult, can serve as wake-up calls for couples to address underlying issues and work toward resolution. Gift giving, for instance, may seem trivial, but can be a source of major stress. One partner might prefer grand gestures, while the other values practicality. And what about the lies that sometimes accompany the holiday? Whether it's about finances, feelings, or fidelity, deception often rears its head in moments of heightened emotional significance. Navigating these complexities requires clear communication and mutual understanding. Maybe you've had those moments when a small miscommunication spirals into a huge misunderstanding. Or maybe you felt the weight of distractions pulling you and your partner apart. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in that. Today, I want to share a story about a couple who faced these challenges head on. So, I've had this couple. I'm not going to tell you if they were a friend, family member, but definitely not a couple in practice. But this particular couple in mind definitely struggled on Valentine's Day in understanding what was important to each of them. This particular couple, the themes were mostly surrounded around gift giving. Now, usually they set a price, which was around like $100. That seems small for a gift, but this was their thing because they didn't want to overindulge, right? Overspend, go beyond their means. So for them, $100 was enough because it's supposed to be about the thought that counts. Well, in the beginning, when they originally set this, one, of course, followed the rule. The other one did not. When the one partner showed up with more expensive gifts, the other person felt unheard and unseen. Why? Because the gifts that were bought, not only were they expensive, but the thought behind the gifts just wasn't there, because the gifts appeared to be for the person who bought it versus the person they were supposed to buy it for. Now, I know y'all are like, well, how did they really resolve that? Well, it took for the partner who felt unseen and unheard to put themselves in a space of vulnerability, right? And also to be patient with having the conversation on both ends. So being able to communicate why the $100 limit was set, I think that helped them have a better understanding to why the gift giving was more important when it was supposed to be more about the thought put into the gift to make the gift special versus the amount that was spent on the gift. But what's the lesson here for all of you who are listening? Love thrives when we accept its imperfections. It's about showing up even when it's messy, especially when it's messy. Because for that couple, they didn't walk away from each other. They didn't yell and scream and holler. They sat down and they worked through it. But I want y'all to remember that these distractions, such as also can be work, stress, social media, they don't define your relationship. How you handle them does. Ooh, I hope y'all heard that part. I'm going to say it again though. How you handle things is what defines your relationship. Here's something practical that you can try. Try setting aside 15 minutes this week to share one thing you appreciate about your partner and one area where you'd like to grow together. It's not about pointing fingers. It's about building bridges. And Valentine's Day is the perfect time to start. Can we sit back for a second and talk about the thrill of first dates? So, first dates, some are magical, others are the stuff of nightmares. My worst was someone I spent half the date with explaining their Marvel movie rankings and ignoring my questions about their job. But hey, at least I learned where Thor ranks on his list. But seriously, first dates can tell you a lot. Look for green lights like genuine curiosity about you, active listening, and the big one, consistency in their actions. Red flags? Love bombing, talking over you, or worse, treating the waiter poorly. As Dr. John Gottman says, compatibility is about shared values, not just shared interests. So if they're kind but hate your favorite band, don't worry, you'll survive. All right, so the first date didn't scare you off. Now comes the tricky part. We're in the middle ground. This is where distractions creep in, meaning you're out the honeymoon phase, and social media, family, and work stress pops up, those things in particular. A survey from the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy found that 70% of couples list communication as their top challenge. If you're feeling unheard, address it early. Conflict doesn't ruin relationships. Avoidance does. But one thing I've seen in my therapy practice is that couples who actively check in weekly, even just for 10 minutes, build stronger bonds. It's not about fancy dinners, y'all. It's about intentional time. Here's a question to spark controversy. Are soulmates a myth? Let us know your thoughts on Instagram or TikTok or in the comments below this episode. Let's talk about the emotional side of love, the roller coaster that comes with it. From the joy of shared victories to the heartbreak of unmet expectations. Love makes you feel deeply. For our LGBTQ plus listeners, interracial couples, I see you and celebrate your love. You face unique challenges, and your stories add so much richness to the conversation about connection. And here's the thing, raw emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, no matter what type of relationship you're in, are the foundation of connection. Dr. Sue Johnson, a leading expert in emotionally focused therapy, says, "We're bonding animals. Emotional connection is the essence of love. Yet, so many of us struggle with showing vulnerability, especially on a day like Valentine's Day." I'm going to let y'all think about that for a second while I give y'all this example. So let's take, for instance, Jenna and Marcus. Jenna thrives on heartfelt conversations and planned surprises, while Marcus prefers simple, understated gestures. Last Valentine's Day, Marcus bought Jenna a bouquet of roses, thinking he nailed it. But Jenna, on the other hand, had been hoping for a handwritten letter expressing his feelings. She felt totally unseen, as she had been expressing that this is what she had wanted for weeks. But Marcus was feeling left unappreciated. It led to a blow up. But here's how they turned things around. They agreed to sit down and talk. Yes, communicate, not about gifts, but about what Valentine's Day meant to each of them. Marcus shared how he'd grown up in a family where love was shown through actions, not words. Jenna explained how important verbal affirmation was to her. That conversation became a turning point in their relationship. The lesson? Vulnerability is the bridge to understanding. On Valentine's Day, instead of guessing what your partner wants, how about you ask them? In simple, being able to say, "What would make this day special for you?" can definitely save a lot of heartbreak and disappointment. And for those of you navigating infidelity or deception, this holiday can be a challenging reminder of trust issues. And I hope that you have someone that you can sit through those things with. Couples often feel torn between celebrating or addressing these deeper wounds. If you're in that space, know this. Honesty is the first step toward rebuilding. Being honest about your feelings, even when it's uncomfortable, is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen your bond. And what better time than Valentine's Day to start? This holiday offers a unique opportunity to have those heartfelt conversations, reflect on your relationship, and embrace vulnerability as a way to deepen your connection. It's not easy, but as therapists often say, the truth is painful, but it's also freeing. I'm going to let that one sit with y'all. Did you know that a survey by the Gottman Institute found that 69% of conflicts in relationships are about reoccurring issues? I'm going to say that again because I don't think some of y'all heard me. 69% of conflicts in relationships are about recurring issues. This means it's not about avoiding conflict, but learning how to navigate it with empathy and understanding. Here's something you can do tonight with your partner. Practice an emotional check-in. Sit down with your partner. Put away distractions and share one fear, one hope, and one thing you're grateful for in your relationship. It's a simple exercise, I promise you, but it can open the door to deeper connection. Or maybe write a letter to your partner, because maybe sitting down in front of them, opening up in front of them is too vulnerable for you. But share what you love about them in your letter, what you appreciate most, and one dream you have for your future together. It's a small gesture, but it can open the door to meaningful conversations, as well as opening your partner to feeling seen by you. So, how do you know you're with the one? For me, it's all about emotional safety. That feeling that your partner is your soft place to land. Shared future goals matter too. Being able to have a partner that you can sit down and just communicate with and tell anything and everything to. Do they light up when you talk about dreams? I think this is important. Do you light up when you talk about your dreams and future together? Or do you look at each other like you've grown a second head? If you do that, I'm not sure y'all are connecting, and maybe this might not be the one. Fun fact, couples who face challenges together and grow from them often last longer. Struggles don't break you, they shape you. I know that was cliche, but I like that line because it's true. Let me share a story with you to kind of help bring this point along. Let's say you're a married couple or a couple in a long-term relationship where you have kids. Let's say you've been going back and forth about what's appropriate discipline and what's not for your kids. Well, guess what? Yes, that is very challenging, especially for those of us who know what it's like to have to balance out your expectations around parenting versus your partner's. But here's the thing, that challenge helps you grow. It shapes you into becoming a better person, a better parent. When you are able to effectively come together, sit down, talk through it, identify solutions, and identify how to implement the solutions. I bet some of y'all missed that last step because implementing the solution is the key, right? But also being able to just come together and work through something that feels hard. Because for some of us, when we are in conflict with our partners, whether it's about parenting, whether it's about, your morals and values, whether it's about finances, whatever it may be for you, being able to come together, talk it out, talk it through, make sure that you're validating each other's emotions and experiences, whether you agree or disagree, being able to come up with effective solutions and being able to know how you're going to implement them together. That absolutely 100% is going to shape you and your relationship differently. I promise you, as long as you follow those steps, it'll come together. Now, let's dive into why Valentine's Day can be a turning point for so many couples. Why does Valentine's Day hold so much weight in relationships? Why do some couples grow closer while others drift apart? Well, did you know that according to a recent survey, nearly 30% of people admit to feeling heightened relationship pressure on Valentine's Day? Bet y'all didn't know that. It's a day filled with expectations, some realistic and some not. For some couples, this pressure leads to conflict and even separation, while for others, it becomes an opportunity to reconnect and recommit. For those who separate, common reasons include unmet expectations or existing issues that come to a head, meaning y'all not resolving these issues. They keep circling back around because there is no solution or resolution. But for couples who come closer together, it's often about intentional efforts, planning something meaningful, expressing appreciation, or simply spending quality time together. It's no secret that Valentine's Day magnifies both the strengths and weaknesses of a relationship. According to a study from the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy, couples who engage in shared rituals like celebrating Valentine's Day meaningfully report higher satisfaction levels. But on the flip side, unmet expectations or unresolved conflicts can feel more pronounced on this day. Here's a startling statistic. A 2019 survey found that 6% of couples end their relationship on Valentine's Day. And I'm sure that percentage is even higher now. And the reasons for this: unrealistic expectations, financial stress from overspending, and revelations of infidelity are at the top of this list. I can't tell y'all how many times I have heard couples break up because they found out that their partner was cheating on them. And most of y'all would think it's usually the woman who goes through their partner's phone suspecting that, yes, they were cheating. But a lot of times it's when their partner doesn't show up for Valentine's Day. They ghost them. That's usually how a lot find out. about their partner's infidelity. It's very hurtful, yes, when someone finds their partner with someone else on Valentine's Day. Yes, it's very hurtful if someone has to find a text message. But it's also even more hurtful when you're sitting left in your thoughts, wondering why. Why did he leave me here by myself on Valentine's Day? Why did she not show up for our date for Valentine's Day? Why did he not call? Which also leaves most wondering, what did they do wrong? Well, I'm here to tell you. Whether they ghosted you, whether they left you on red, whether they did not return a phone call or answer your call, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about them not being able to be honest about where they are and where they are in the relationship. I'm just saying. But here's the flip side. 72% of couples who intentionally celebrate Valentine's Day report feeling more connected afterwards. The key word here is intentional. It's not about how much you spend or the size of the gesture. It's about the thought behind it. And no, not the thought behind a gift. The thought behind spending quality time together on a day that is supposed to be a day that is shared love. Love that is shared on the same day with other couples in love. And let me share another story with you. Let's say Mia and Carlos had a history of avoiding difficult conversations. One Valentine's Day, Mia discovered Carlos had been less than honest about a financial issue. Instead of sweeping it under the rug, they used the day to have a heart-to-heart. It was messy, there were tears, but it also led to a renewed sense of honesty in their relationship. Who wouldn't want that? On a day of sharing love, you get honesty? Sign me up, right? This Valentine's Day, consider starting a new ritual with your partner. Maybe it's writing each other love notes, cooking a meal together, or setting intentions for your relationship for the year ahead. It's these shared moments that create lasting memories and build connection. Whether you love it or loathe it, Valentine's Day can serve as a reminder to evaluate where you and your partner stand and to take steps to strengthen your bond. Now let's bring it back to the heart of this podcast, the wine of love. Every tear, every challenge, every misstep, they're all part of the process. This is the idea that the hardest moments in relationships, the fights, the misunderstandings, the heartbreak, can lead to growth within relationships if we're willing to do the work. Valentine's Day is a reminder of why we do the work, for our relationship. Again, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Take those arguments about gift giving or unmet expectations and use them as stepping stones to better communication and understanding. Marriage and family therapists often highlight the power of repair attempts. I know I do for my couples. And for example, when one partner apologizes after a fight with a heartfelt, "I didn't mean to hurt you. Can we talk about this?" It can diffuse tension and pave the way for healing. According to John Gottman, successful repair attempts are one of the strongest predictors of a happy and long-lasting relationship, especially when couples use Valentine's Day as an opportunity to practice these moments of reconnection. So I had someone share with me their story in my DM, and I want to share it with you because they gave me permission to. Let's call her Kayla. Kayla shared a story with me about her and her wife, Lauren. Oof, this story hit home, y'all. Their worst nightmare came true on Valentine's Day, but turned into their best day ever. After a heated argument about unmet expectations, around household responsibilities, life challenges, they decided to attend couples therapy. Today, they celebrate Valentine's Day not with extravagant gifts and pointing fingers at each other, but with a simple tradition of revisiting their wedding vows. Wow. When I saw that, I said to myself, they get it. They use Valentine's Day not only as a way to recognize their issues, but also to recognize we need help, we need support, as well as let's make Valentine's Day every year a turning point in our marriage. Let's make Valentine's Day the day that we re-announce to one another the reasons why we love each other, the reasons why we got married, the reasons why we're still here fighting for one another. I don't know about y'all, but after reading that and now even saying it out loud to y'all, I definitely need to pour me a glass of wine because the tears, that almost got me. But here's your takeaway. Embrace the imperfections in your relationship because guess what? You nor your partner are perfect, and neither is your relationship. This Valentine's Day, instead of focusing on the perfect celebration, focus on your partner. Listen, share, and show up authentically. These moments are the essence of love unfiltered. They're not always pretty, but they're real. And when we embrace them, they become the wine that enriches our relationships. So, as we wrap up this Valentine's Day special, let's celebrate love in all its forms. Whether couples find themselves drifting apart or growing closer, Valentine's Day serves as a powerful reminder to reflect on what truly matters. It's an opportunity to either rekindle the spark or take a courageous step toward clarity and growth in your relationship. Whether you're just starting out or you've been together for decades, remember this: love is a journey, not a destination. It's messy, raw, and beautiful, and it's worth every moment. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hearts Wine from Hearts Distractions for more exclusive episodes and content. Visit www.aliciasdistractions.com for additional resources and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Links are below in the description. Until next time, cheers to love, connection, and the wine that makes it all worthwhile. And until next time, remember to loving each other deeply, connecting intentionally, living authentically, and pouring a glass that matches our wine, aka tears. Happy Valentine's Day to